Hello. Hello, guys. Happy. Um, I can't even think. Happy Memorial Day. I hope everybody had a good day. I'm going to say hi. And I plan to talk about the topic of how Ukrainian women change when they come to US. And hello, Dave. Guys, I hope you can still hear me and understand me with my voice. I hadn't done a video in a week, and that was so disappointing because I completely lost my voice. I was really not feeling that well. But I'm excited to be here today, and I do have that topic, and I picked it up from the emails, and people have been asking me a lot that question about um, how Ukrainian women change and what to expect and how helps them to adapt and how can you be supportive. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you have no issues with me, um, and that's mysterious sound that I make today. Just a minute. Hey, Bernard. Hey, Bagwell. Hey, Shin. Great to see you guys. It's like I almost canceled because it didn't feel so great, but now I'm glad that I didn't. So, do you guys want to talk about this? And before we start, I want to tell a special thank you. I would like to say special thank you for you guys supporting me and subscribing. I am at 6,000 subscribers and I'm super excited about this. And I want to tell you each time that you watch my channel and you subscribe to my channel, I feel it's really a kind of gratitude to me because you help me grow, and it means that you trust me, you like the content, you like what I do. So by subscribing to my channel, you really letting me know that what I do matters and you want to hear more of that. So I just want you to know that, guys, I'm not taking this for granted. Um, and thank you for the compliment, Bernard. So I appreciate you, and I'm excited about having 6,000. Last year I had 20, not even 2,500 at this time. So it's only been 1 year, and I want to say special thank you to people who decided to also support me on Patreon. That thing is growing, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna make live videos just for Patreon. And for those of you guys who have questions and if you on Patreon, you can just post comments there and I will either answer you there or I can even make a live video on Patreon platform. So I'll be happy to help. I'll be happy to help you, and I'm just so um grateful and thank you so much. I'm not gonna say any names because a lot of people kind of want to stay private, but just thank you so much for doing that. We're still gonna have some VIP meetings, so if you're interested to join the VIP meeting, you can. And whatever you do is great. I will never say that. Oh, if you like aren't buying some service from me, you're not as good. No, you're just as good. You are great. You're watching the videos, you're sharing the videos, you're putting comments and like every tiny little bit counts. So you are all just making a huge difference in my life. I just want you to know that, guys. Yes, I had to start from this. Today is a Memorial Day. Um, it's a always day of gratitude for me because I go back to memories and I remember people in my country. Of course, my both grandfathers fought in World War II and both came back. That's why I'm sitting here, because if they wouldn't come back, it would be no live video today. Oops, too much light. It will be no live video today for sure. But seriously, it's a very special day, and I sometimes feel that we do not honor enough those people who are true heroes. You know, we are worrying about Kardashians or some other bull crap like that, but there are people that risking their lives, that saving lives, that giving their best, that risking their own family to go and protect and help everybody else. I really think that these people deserve to be remembered, and if they came back, that's wonderful. It's that's a blessing. If they didn't, it should be never ending process of gratitude. And I just really have so much appreciation for the men that stand for um, protecting their countries, their families, and yes, to be remembered and to be honored. So I just I cannot not to say this on Memorial Day. I tried to make a little video today from my town. um, it's what was great to see kids in it, that some people getting that knowledge that history is important. Without learning the history lessons, you're not going to be successful in the future. Yes, things are changing dramatically, but when you forget gratitude, when you don't know anything past what was 5 years ago, when you caught in gossip, and you're not like realizing the important stuff, don't learn, you don't read, you bring very little value to society, to yourself, and to your family. So that's all I want to say about this, guys. Actually, I could talk about this all night, but I appreciate you all, and thank you so much. And now we get into our topic. So our topic is today, how Ukrainian women, like first of all, do they change? Like, do Ukrainian women, change? And not just Ukrainian, it can be any Slavic country, any Eastern European country. I don't know much about, let's say, Latin, because I'm not Latin, and I don't have that many Latin friends. But it was interesting because my subscriber told me that he was in Ukraine, and he said, "Oh my gosh, Ukrainian people are so affectionate that I feel like it's almost like a Latin culture." I have a friend in Ukraine. She's helping me with some people, and she's very affectionate and very genuine person. Her name is Anna, and she's helping us with our tour. And so one of my subscribers told me, "Boy, oh boy, like I almost uncomfortable. Like she would kiss me and hug me." But it's just a friendship. It's just to show you the warmth and to make you feel at home. So, but going back to our topic. So the question about will Ukrainian women change, and I understand what's behind that question. Behind that question is a fear. Is a fear that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna spend all this time, all this effort, all this money, and then my beautiful Ukrainian wife will become lazy. She will maybe stop taking care of herself, and maybe her attitude will change, and she will become, I don't know, feminazi, and this and that. So I do understand where that question comes, that men are afraid. They also have this fear that, yeah, the attitude will change, and they'll stop dressing, stop looking beautiful, eat from McDonald's, stop taking care of their man, and basically their attitude will change, to some kind of how to say this, well, I don't want to say bad words, Dave. Basically that it won't be as feminine, it won't be as kind, it won't be as sweet. So, well, I wanted to tell you guys that nobody ever will give you a guarantee on things. If people guarantee you something, they're lying to you because there is no guarantee. You can meet a person that is one way, and after 2 years, it's a totally different person. I can relate to this with my own experience. Um, a lot of you guys asking me about my story, and I cannot really tell a lot of details because it wouldn't be fair for the other person. And but I've decided to share some glimpses and pieces. So sometimes what happens is it looks like you're on the same page, you like the same thing, you have similar interests, but then when it comes to the real life, um, it's not so. And you can't blame people for being weak or for being who they are. So in my case, it was that our interest at first we couldn't get enough of each other, and there was a lot of common interest going to literature and history, but in some ways, my drive and desire to be entrepreneurial, I didn't even know that that's who I'm going to be, but that wasn't received with a lot of excitement. Instead, it was kind of a disbelief. And once again, I can't blame somebody for it because that's how they see the world. And sometimes people afraid doing new things, and that's fine. It does not tell that the person is negative or positive. It's just a difference. And therefore, I agree, you gotta spend time to learn about each other. But even if you do, nobody can give you a guarantee. Nobody will give you a guarantee and put a stamp and tell you, hey, you know what, that's the way to do it. It's gonna work out. Um, those things, guys, that you're worried about the appearance and about the healthy food, the taking care of kids and all that, I would say in about 80%, like that's my observation, about 80% of Ukrainian women stay on their game. They working out, they look good, they never lower the standard, they dress up, even if they live in a tiny small town like I do, which is very tempting to just be a mess. Like seriously. I think my electricity is about to go off. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Well, so it's very tempting, when nobody is like you, when people just don't take any pride at all. It's very tempting to just give up. But most people, like most Ukrainian women, have a very strong core. So they would actually still keep dressing up and looking good and work out. And you know why? They would do it not to impress anybody, not even to impress you. I have to tell you, they will do it because this is how they feel good. This is how they. Man, I'm having one hell of a lighting today, guys. So I hope you enjoy this. Um, so real Ukrainian women, they do not do their appearance to even impress you. They do that because it makes them feel good. You can be alone, like a woman like me, for example, could be. I often work from home, so I could be by myself part of the day. I know I'm not gonna see absolutely nobody, and it's still gonna be the same ritual, same time getting dressed, getting together, doing the hair, the shower, everything, just because it's kind of a routine, and because you feel good. Yes, some days you want to rest from the eyeliner, some days you don't want to do something special with your hair, but um you want to feel good. You have your minimum that's non-negotiable. You're showered, you're nicely dressed, and you have good attitude. And I teach this to my son. Um, and here is once again, I have some moments sometimes with the discipline and the attitude um, with what his father does. And it's not um, in my power to change it. He might not have these requirements. You gotta get up, you gotta get dressed, you gotta, shower. So I sometimes have to put those standards, and I realize that, criticizing somebody isn't gonna help, and it's actually not gonna be good. So my secret weapon is I praise him and I encourage him and I tell him how great he looks. And this is also one of those things that um, important to remember is to see the attitude of a person. Like, are they doing those things for you to impress you while you date? Or they are just like that. Is your Ukrainian woman like only taking care of herself when she knows she's gonna see you? Then she's not. To me, that's not a real woman. A real woman, to my humble just opinion, is the woman that's getting dressed and having her standard. It's not just about the clothes. It's not about the mascara, but she's having a standard. Only if she is sick and like lying on the floor and the house is on fire and she has a pneumonia and her kid is sick, yes, she can be a total mess. Because that's, if you see me like that, it means that like everybody has pneumonia and the house is on fire. So coming back to the original thought, hey Casey. So coming back to the topic, so basically, that part, the visual part, the attraction part, usually it stays for a very long time. And you guys, how you can help is to give the woman her time. To give her time. If you are the younger couple, or you're planning a child, give her that hour a day where she can go and maybe take a walk, get in a massage, um that she can feel like a woman. Guys, I know what it is to, when you having a newborn, you're about to go. I mean, it's the most incredible time. It's the most, like, it's the biggest blessing. But what happens very often in Ukraine, women change what Ukrainian men think that women change. But actually what happens is um men kind of blame Ukrainian women that they don't take um good care of themselves, and they no longer give them attention. And the thing is, Ukrainian men aren't as good and advanced in helping, like with new children, like with newborns or just young children. Ukrainian men aren't as involved, and it's changing right now. So it's changing. So Ukrainian fathers and Russian fathers are getting more involved. But what happens is they have this kind of blame that, once you had a child, you give me no attention, you look like crap, and we never have sex anymore. But what happens is that dad isn't, um, that dad isn't helping her. He doesn't, when you stayed up all night with the kid, when you have no time to go and just like relax. I don't have it right now. So thank God, my son is almost gonna be, he's 9, he's gonna be 10 in next year. Um, so the crucial mistake that Ukrainian men do is that they just sort of believe in magic, that somehow, the Ukrainian woman can be the mother all day and clean all day and do all these things, but she has no time to even breathe. So they kind of consider it's a woman job completely to take care of a kid. And this is where the mistake happens. If you give the Ukrainian woman 2 hours a day, if she has a newborn, to go out, to walk, to maybe go to some kind of salon, to have some kind of fun like that, she will never let herself go, and she will feel like spending time with you and doing things with you and so on and so forth. So that's but in US, I noticed that a lot of American men are a lot better with this, and they actually very understandable about it, and they give time to their ladies here. It's kind of amazing, and they help with children. Some men helping here with children more than women. I'm serious. So yeah, I mean, if you can give you some time and you can have a part-time daycare, it's awesome, because it's just gonna make all the difference in the world. Seriously, it's gonna make all the difference in the world when you do that. So now we're gonna talk about the character, because it's not just about the looking pretty. I know a lot of you guys worrying about the feminazi approach, that the Ukrainian woman will turn into just another attitude, and things like that. Um, it's I believe that is not should not be that much of a concern. You do not always know the person deeply. So, yes, you definitely going to have bumps on the road. You definitely, if you're a real person and she's a real person, you definitely gonna have moments where you will be, how to say this, where you might need um, even to go to a counselor, because things are so different. But the good news is that two people that want to work things out, they will always work them out. And my biggest insight on this is this. Um, you gotta tell what you really think. Don't try to cover it. If you having issues with her attitude, if she is changing or something is happening, you have to be direct. When I came to US, many people were like laughing and looking at me and said, "Oh my gosh, you're so direct. You're so honest. Like, it's crippling." And I had no idea what they were talking about. But in my relationship, that was a problem. You guys been asking me so much about my story, so here you get it. In my relationship, honesty was a problem. Unfortunately, when I would be honest, how I really feel, my partner would take it as some kind of threat, like as if like I'm trying to um, do something bad. But I would just say without the sugar coating how I really feel, and that was a problem. So when he would have a problem with me, he would not talk to me. He wouldn't tell me what's wrong, but he would maybe talk to somebody else. And which, once again, now when I look at this, I understand how hard it was for him, because it was a new thing. And um I totally understand that it was not easy, and people in his family, people not used to say what really bothers them. It's all about for it's all about, okay, we're not gonna be too open as long as we don't have a conflict. So in my situation, I would rather go right into depths of the problem, see what it is, and then go from there. I would rather have a conflict, and it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be screaming match. I would rather have an open conflict of interest, and um just kind of figure out that problem. Unfortunately, in my case, it was that I was not told what was the issue. I didn't know many things. Many things I do different now than I used to do. But back in time, I wouldn't understand why there is this tension. Why he just can't tell me what's wrong. So I just want to tell you guys, it's a reverse engineering coaching call almost. Don't do that. If something is bothering you, if you don't like how your woman all of a sudden treats you, or you didn't like that she maybe raised your voice, or something else, you have to tell her directly without talking to your friends or even your counselor. You have to, I mean, you could do that, but you have to talk to your lady and tell her, when you do this, um when you do this, it it hurts me. I feel hurt, without blaming. I realize that you don't have to blame, you don't have to have a screaming match. You can just you, you can just convey your feelings, and the other person, if they love you, they want to know how you feel. Like, if you guys ask, and how is that for you? Like, how do you feel about that? I see a lot of comments and questions, guys. I'm gonna go to them once I finish the thought. I would say that for me, the number one important thing in a relationship, I want to know how the other party really feels. Like, that's the one thing I want to know, how the person really feels. I don't need the sugarcoating, because if I know how you really feel, I can do something about it. Yes, it might hurt. Yes, it might suck. I might feel that, oh my God, um, I'm not doing this right, or whatever it is. But if you tell me without the sugarcoating, without the trying to put it in certain perspective, without trying to threaten me as a person, but you tell me that something you're unhappy about it, that's gold to me, because once I know it, I can do something about it, probably would try to do something better, and then the snowball of dissatisfaction, the snowball of resentment will stop growing. Instead of what I faced in my experience, it was like silence, 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 and then a huge resentment, because, and I can understand, because maybe you had some needs and they were not met. But if you don't convey them, if you don't talk about them, how the other person supposed to know, right? It's hard to figure that out, correct? So, and that's, guys, what I would like to say, that don't, uh especially with a different mentality, don't try to be indirect. Just learning how to convey what hurts you, or what you like, not always a negative. Just trying to convey that, tell that, um can make such a huge difference. Yes, if people love you, they love you for who you are, but sometimes, there are things that you need to work on. And I really think there is nothing embarrassing when both people are working on something. There are sometimes pressure, sometimes, you have issues at work, sometimes you have a newborn, sometimes you have both, and you are in another country, and I mean, it's life. Anyways, I hope you guys get this insight. So, one of the major important things is to tell how you really feel. It's not about the political correctness in our culture. We hate political correctness. Like, it's confuses us and annoys us because we don't understand. Like, I remember being confused, kind of making friends with people, and they say that they're friends, but they don't act like friends. And it's really strange. I could not figure out. I feel that the person doesn't like me so much, but they still have this politeness and correctness. Um, I hate that. You don't need to say anything. You don't want to talk to me? I'm good. Like, so don't try to be politically correct. Tell the problem, remember about, of course, it's a, it's a live person, like it's a living thing, or creature, or human. So please just be, um don't be the, don't hide, open up, and she will open up, and then things gonna be good. I'm telling you guys from my experience. uh the person you need to talk to is your partner. You need to tell them what you tell other people about them. You need to tell them, then you have a chance to work it out. Now let me look at the chat, guys. I don't know if I can. Oh my gosh, hey Lance. L- Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Lance, did you send me an email? I think you did, but I think you sent it to a different. Guys, my email right now is consultveronica@gmail.com. I will post it. Lance, I wanna reward you for supporting me consistently on super chats. I think I saw your email. So what I would like to do for you, would you like to come to one of our VIP calls? If you do, it's not gonna be this week, but it's gonna be next week. I remember you had kind of like general questions. Why don't you come on the VIP calls, and we can talk, and guys can also share their perspective. Maybe you will join us at the VIP adventure. So thank you. And let's see, Mark Haslip, Olga got her K1 last week. Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations and good luck. Um, what if you open? Okay, let me see. I have so many comments, guys. Let me try to see. And first of all, guys, thank you so much for joining, for being here with me and listening to my not so vibrant voice today. Yes, that's awesome. Congratulations. KZ says being politically correct is so fake. We need to be honest. Yes. And when you're honest, once again, guys, when you're honest with somebody, you don't have to hurt. You don't have to call somebody names. But I think honesty is the best policy. I really think so. Even if it hurts like hell, guys, don't think that it's very pleasant to hear things that like really suck about you. It's not fun, but you know at least you have a chance to face it, to see what part of it is actually true, and maybe you can do something about it you know and when you care, you usually want to do something about it, and most of us want to be better than we are. And the thing is, when a person really loves you, they're not gonna tell you something to hurt you know what if you do open about your life and what you like or don't like, but they start to act like it's too much work to deal with? Well, then you move on. If somebody consider you too much to deal with, then you move on. You can't convince somebody in your value. You can't convince somebody who doesn't want to be with you. One thing I've learned, that I only want to play with the person who wants to play with me. I had times in my life when I, wanted to be friends with somebody, or wanted to fix things in my own life, in my own marriage. And it was basically, uh, I felt that my value isn't seen, and I will have to work so hard to convince somebody in your value, and in my value, or you have to work so hard to convince somebody in your value. And the truth is, when somebody, um thank you, Dave, thank you so much. When somebody appreciate you, you don't need to convince them in your value. They see your value inside of you, and that's why they're giving you another chance. You're going to screw up. I don't care how great of husband you are, you're going to screw up. I don't care how great wife you are, you're going to screw up sometimes, sometimes you're gonna be a bitch sometimes, you know so but when the person realize the value of that relationship, of the value of your connection, the impact you make on each other's life, they're gonna give you another chance. They will understand. They already know your value. And I'll tell you more, when they really love you, they already have an excuse for you. They already have an excuse for you. I remember trying to prove something and trying to explain that I have this big vision that, we can do this and we can do that, and maybe we can travel, and, maybe we could like do something together. And um, it's just, it's not even the other person's fault when somebody cannot connect with that, and they don't see that picture. They don't even mean to do it very often, but they discourage you. They think you're crazy. And and it doesn't even make them a bad person. They just have a different view, and unfortunately, they not always believing in you. So you gotta be the biggest believer in that situation, and you gotta keep that belief like a treasure, like a treasure. Um, yes, it's wonderful when you see the value. When you see the value in the other person, true love, what that is, when you see the person that you care about from the big perspective, like you have a big positive perspective of them. You see how capable they are, and you see that beyond what they are even knowing themselves. You see that beyond of what they're showing. You don't discourage them from their dream. Even if that dream gonna fail 10 times, you don't discourage them. So, and you don't convince, I just want to finish that thought, guys. You don't convince them. Um, you can't convince nobody in your value. Absolutely nobody. You cannot do that. If person needs convincing, they are not your person, because person who were meant to be for you is already there. They already see your potential. If you